Hello, all viewers. Welcome to the 56th Khelo Chess India team battle. It's going to start in about 20 seconds from now. So stay tuned. We have full house today, and I think there are few players who are still
10,
need to join
9,
from
8,
the respective
7,
teams like Abhi
6,
Chess, Golden Castle Chess
4,
Club, and Nagpur
3,
Chess Warriors.
2,
So
1,
it's starting now. The
0.
tournament we will be covering most of the tournament, which will have. Okay, so I can see a comment. Okay, I think I got a game. Let me just finish this and come back to you. Okay, I clicked on Berserk mode and then I saw the opponent's rating 2122, so I might not be in the best position to win this game on less time, but that's not the matter. So I can see a comment from Music Life and give the link Music Life. First, you have to join the team, and after joining the team, you can play from either of the teams. Just give me a minute. Let me share the link with you. Music Life, do you have the Leeches ID? Do you have the Leeches ID with you? Leeches ID is without Leeches ID, you cannot play. Okay, so this is a difficult game going on. I'm not having any clearer idea. I think B4, B5 is something that I should be trying for now. I'd be played very soon so that I don't play the B4 move. Let me put my knight on B4 now. Okay, so this knight will go to b4, and from b4 it can try to control this d5, and I can push the pawn to c5 now. So the knight is over here. It's trying to attack this rook by putting the 3, but I think that should be okay as of now. Knight b3 is oh, e4 is hanging. E4 is hanging. Yeah, just a minute. Just a minute, guys. This e4 pawn is now hanging, and I think I would be in the losing position. So today I just forgot to click on withdraw before starting the live, hence I got a game. I just want to finish this game quickly so that I can check the next games which are possible. And okay, knight g4, the f2 pawn is, let me place h3 and try to kick the knight away. Copy address and let me give it to the uh, okay, so Music Life, I have given the link in the description in the comment section. You can just try to click on that link. I'm happy that you are joining today. Probably you're joining for the first time, if I'm not wrong. So all the viewers out there, just sure that you share this video with as much as possible, as much as people as possible, and also make sure that you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel so that you get this notification when we come live every day at 9:30 p.m. India time. So I'm just trying to play fast now, and I think this is not how you should play chess. I'm just trying to ruin the game of not playing it in the perfect way. I think I'm going to trap my bishop now after f5. Knight has to go to c5 and make some room when the f5 is played. Queen b6, the queen is hanging now on the e3. So I need to support queen by supporting the queen. I think b2 will be captured now very soon. But I have this rook b1 and then okay, let me capture the rook takes e3. And now this knight is going to be captured back. So more or less I think black is winning now, although there are opposite colored bishops. It's the rook is pinned. I should have played rook d3. That's what happens, guys, when we rotate as well as play at the same time. You tend to lose. I think I'm losing the rook now. Let me just resign this one and let's go and check the top games that are in progress right now. So let's just check one of the games between Ravi Chokraj over Mikhail Marx. Let's check what happened in the opening, guys. So e4, e5, bishop c4, knight f6, knight c3, bishop e7, knight e2, castles, castles, knight takes e4. So this is one of the common traps that happen. So after knight takes e4, pawn d5 is played to give a fork on this c4 as well as the quest. So bishop takes f7 is generally played here. In most of the games I have seen white playing bishop takes f7. So knight takes e4 is preferred here over bishop takes f7, pawn to d5, bishop to d3, pawn takes, bishop takes, and now f5. So bishop comes back and bishop c4. Now the threat is to play e3, e4 this bishop. So pawn to f3. It's not a trap actually. If you play e3, I think so. White won this game, but we'll go back and check. So this was the position, bishop e6. Here, I think even if e4 is played, I think bishop b5 is still possible. So pawn push pawn to c6, bishop a4, and pawn to b5. Bishop can come to b3 and just try to get this bishop exchange. If bishop takes b3, then a takes b3, and we would be having this open rook a4 and rook to h4 or something can be planned. So, but f3 was played here just to avoid pawn to e4. Bishop c5 check, king to h1, queen to h4. So slowly mating thread starting on the white king. For example, pawn to f4, rook to f6, and queen h2 check, king h2, and rook to f6 check and mate. That could be one of the plans for black. So straight away the queen exchange is offered here. So queen to h5, knight to g3, queen to h6, and pawn takes e5. So that loses an extra the black scam. Bishop d6 was played here. Queen goes to e1 and now rook f6. I think here uh, black should have tried to develop his pieces instead of rook f6. And so for example, knight c6 and rook e8 was better as compared to what black is playing right now. So rook to f6 and then pawn to f4, rook to g6, bishop takes f5, a free pawn, a gift to uh, white here. So bishop takes knight, queen e8 check, bishop f8, and now knight takes f5. So this is completely winning and a gift is queen. So an easy win for white here. A lot of blunders from black side, giving an easy win to white. So an extra point with Prayagraj Future Games Chess Club. Let's go back to a tournament, guys, and check the next game. So Rancho says, Namaste, sir. Hello, Rancho. Namaste to you as well. Hope you are doing well, safe and sound at your home and following the lockdown rules. Let's check, guys. So it has just begun. We are lucky. So c4, d5, c4, c6, g3, d4 to d4, knight to f6, bishop to g2, bishop to f5, knight to c3, pawn to e6, bishop to g5, bishop e7, knight to f3. And after knight f3, I think bishop takes e7 exchange was offered by black, and white was happy to take it. So queen takes d5, pawn takes d5. This is a live position. We are actually good at live positions because then we can evaluate and think, and we are not having any looking at the moves on the right hand side. So this is kind of a symmetrical pawn positions that both the players have here, and queen b3 is something that white should play to attack this b7 pawn. It won't be effective immediately, but sometime in later in the game it would be helpful. So the question on which side does each player has to play? Where should white play? Where should black play? What are your judgments, guys? You can put in the comment section. So from my experience, I think white should be playing here on the queen side, getting this rook on c1, this bishop on f1. If this knight is you're able to solve the problem of this knight, bishop should get to f1 and then try to come on this squares, trying to cover this c4 square because now knight a5 and knight c4 is something that black to do. And if white has to stop it, then bishop probably has to come to f1 or knight has to come to d2 so that the c4 square is controlled multiple times by white's pieces. So the pieces have been exchanged here on f3. Yes, as I said before, knight a5 and knight c4 will be played soon. But I think this bishop versus knight, bishop holds when you have queens on the board. A quick exchanges here on the board. Minor pieces, sorry, all the major pieces are off the board, and this is what black missed. Straight away a check and mate on the e8 square. Let's go move. So this exchange was something, knight a5 was something. I feel that black missed completely this check and mate on e8. So is something that you should be solving first. Probably a g6 like move should have been played, and then knight a5 was on the cards. So even if queen e8 check, king has an escape square to g7. So let's go back and check the next game here. Who are who all are playing? Team Future. Let's go to the first board and check who all are playing. So Bombay Rocker is playing from Khelo Chess India today. I think I've seen Bombay Rocker playing from the Chess Blasters, but today he's playing from the Khelo Chess India. So I'm happy to have a new player in my team. And Bombay Rocker is losing, I think. Not losing, but yeah, I think king to, yep, pawn to d4. Pawn to e4 can be played now, so that if bishop takes e4, takes e4, king takes e4, and then pawn can be pushed. Yeah, but that would be a draw. So it's an interesting battle now because this pawn is going to fall very soon. I think yeah, rook will be attacked, and bishop to h4 is sorry, bishop to e4 is something that, oh, a nice move here, nice, so that this pawn can be pushed if this bishop is captured. So I think king b2 is on the cards here. And now bishop has to be saved, probably bishop to d3, and yep. Uh, it's saving this pawn as well. So check has been given. I think king takes will be played, and yeah, this would be a draw now. Yeah, it's a draw. A nice game between both the players. It's leading to, oh, it's a win actually. Sorry for the misjudgment, guys. I thought it's going to be a draw because of this, but yeah. So black king is out of the magic square, and white wins this one comprehensively. Let's go back to the tournament and let's try to play a game here. Let me try to play a game. So who all are leading right now? Are leading with 25 points. Beat Mindano on 23. Khelo Chess India on third place, going good. So we have Bombay Rocker leading from the Khelo Chess India. Then we have Shri 12, and then we have Swapnil Pote, and then there are 000. So someone has to score from last three tables to get on the first three positions. Bobby Fischer followers are closing up very soon from the game. I got a game against Abhishek Srivastava. Let me play in the Berserk mode. So Berserk mode is something that gives you an advantage. If you get an extra point, so that your team will always have some winning chances, some more winning chances as compared to the other team. And the knight house was exchanged. So there's a mate on f7. I think queen f6 will be played now. As expected, queen will go to g3. I think queen g6 will be followed. If I'm not wrong, I have to avoid the queen exchange here. Let me castle and try to play f4 so that I can get this open file. Let me play f4 here. So the idea is to just put the rook on f1 after castle and get this. Whenever there is no knight on f3, go for the exchange. Go for the exchanges of the pieces. So let me first exchange pawns. I think knight takes, no, I think f7. Okay, queen takes will be played now. After queen takes, I have to I mean, just one more shot. If the d4 would have been possible with the tempo, I would have been in a better position. But let me play queen to, no, queen to h3 is also not useful. Now the e4 pawn is hanging, so I have to play. Okay, the queen is also hanging and I have to support. So let me play this queen f3 e4 pawn as well as this. Ah, this is a blunder because queen c5 now will lose my bishop. That's a blunder, guys. Queen c5 check, and I did not see this. Queen c5 check. Okay, so lucky escape for me. Queen c5 was I was losing a piece. 37 seconds on the clock. I have to now. Where can the queen go? Queen will go to this b6 square. I have to capture the knight on pawn takes d4. Finally, he got his move of capturing the bishop. And now queen takes bishop. I think I have to play bishop takes h6 so that I can capture the bishop on f6 then e6. And knight a6 first so that this bishop is saved and this f7 pawn is hanging. So queen takes f6 and now queen takes f6, rook takes f6. Or queen takes a3 is also okay. Rook takes f6 was played. So two pieces have to be on my toes now. I cannot just waste any move right now. I think rook f8 is expected. Rook 2. Okay. Let me just try to set up a trap here. Pawn to g4. If rook takes g4, then there is a bishop e6 check. Yeah, that's the trap, and the opponent has been trapped into this. So bishop takes g4 will be played now. Got an extra piece. Now rook g8 is expected, so I should play h3. h5 is now expected. Yeah, bishop takes h5, and now rook g5 is expected. I shove back. Now h5 is expected. I have to put the bishop on f5. Okay, rook has attacked, so I should support my rook. Now h5 is expected. I should be bringing my bishop back now. Okay, so bishop. Oh, that's a blunder. Rook is hanging over here and black misses it. Black I think wants to win on time now to make sure I don't allow him to do so. So this check and rook takes and I think on e6 now. One can be pushed now and this is a mate. So very nice game, a very quick game. Let's pause and go back to the tournament to what are the current standings. So from the individual point of view, Murian Togonon is leading from Beat Mindano Chess Prodigy. And let's check one of the games. This from Beat Mindano versus Gujarat Lions. So it was an agreed position. Look at this position, guys. It's completely a symmetrical position. 100% symmetrical position. Why would you want to win? Of course, if you want to draw, you can go for it. Okay, let's check another game. Let's check this game. Super Bohemo versus Team Future. Super Bohemo is from the Chess Blasters team. He's from Spain, I guess. Yeah, he's from Spain. And Swish 2900 is from. Okay, there is no country, but Team Future, I think this is Sri Lanka. So I'm expecting this player to be from Sri Lanka. And what we have here, we have an excellent middle on, but let's check what happened in the opening d4, knight f6. Okay, somebody won here. White won the game. But let's check what happened. So d4, knight c3, c6, e4. So this is a Caro-Kann defense advanced variation. And f3, queen knight takes, pawn takes, b5, bishop to d3, and now bishop takes, queen takes, and pawn to e6. Knight to h3, knight to d7, castles, pawn to f4, pawn to c4, and queen to e2. So this gives some edge to white actually for this f5 break. g6 should have been played to avoid this break, but I think yeah, f5 break is allowed. This is something that you should not allow if you're playing from black side. In such positions, you should not allow this f5 break from white side. You should play g6 here. Try to stop white's advance on the king side. Don't allow white happy position. So white plays f5 and is very happy now. So even in this case, actually, in some cases, I have seen players playing queen a5, attacking the c3 pawn. After bishop d2, they are going for the long castles. And even though the king side is exposed, his king is safe on the queen side. He can just later on play king to b8, king to e8, and the king will be safe here on the 8 square. There is no one who can harm this king on the 8 square because all white's pieces are pointing towards the king side. Bishop is towards king side, knight is towards king, this rook is towards king. Queen cannot come to queen side, queen is also on the king side. So all the pieces are on the king side while this king will rest in its a8 square. So pawn takes was played, pawn to e6, and white black is just surrendering to all of the white's attack here. 5, knight to g5, and look at this position. What hopes can black have here after his king is exposed? Castle is broken and knights are on e6, queen is on f5, rook is on f1, and it's all game over for black very soon, I think. So initial castle that black has done over here. Even I think here knight takes d5 was possible. Knight takes d5, rook takes d6, e6, queen takes e4 was possible, but here in the game knight e6 was played, and then I think check and mate is almost impossible to defend here. So that's the example of this game is an example, guys, of how should not play from black side. What things that black shouldn't do. So first point is that f5 break should not be allowed. You should play g6 and break, and try to put your king on the queen side if you feel that your king side is exposed. So let's go back and let's check the next. So all the viewers out there, just make sure you hit the like button, and if you subscribe to the channel, I will be happy, and I will be happy to share with your friends this YouTube channel. So currently Beat Mendano are leading. We have Khelo Chess India on 31. Let's back and play one game. So I try. Okay, so we have a request from Garv over here. Let's try to find Garv. I'm putting in one. So Garv is requesting to MPH Chess and Garv both have requested. So let's check MPH Chess. MPH Chess is he playing a game? No, he just played one game and lost and left. So Garv, let's if he's playing any game. Yeah, I think he is online, and let's check his game, Garv's game. Garv is playing against Andre 2100. Is going to be a nice one, guys. So E4, Garv is playing from right side. Andre is playing from Garv is from Prayagraj Future GM's Chess Club, and Andre is from Beat Mindano Chess Prodigy. Both are 2100 rating players. So E4, F3, Knight C6, D4, a Scotch game. Pawn takes D4, Bishop to C4, Knight to F6, Bishop to C5 is another option here. If you black side, if you play E5 from black side against E4, then you should know all these lines that an F6 is also possible, and bishop to c5 is also. So castles, then knight to e4, rook to e1, pawn to d5, bishop takes d5, queen takes d5, knight c3, queen to h4. This is all theory, guys, which is known to everyone, and this is all part of the study. So knight g5, the e6 bishop is now hanging. So long castles, pawn takes, rook takes e6. Although white is no, white is not pawn up, it's equal. So pawn to h6 and now e2. So both players will have their own strategies. Probably white will try to put his bishop on f4, get his another rook on e1, and try to put some pressure in the e and d files. While black, I think, is preparing for h6, g5, and g4 kind of attack here. So queen to f7, bishop to d2, bishop to c5, and now rook to e1. So look at this rook, queen, and rook. They are beautifully lined up. No one would dare. This rook e8 won't be there right now because this rook will can capture right away. Now the only thing is that white should because bishop. How this bishop can participate in the attack that can be carried out, and also this knight, because this knight doesn't have a good square, is doing a good job of defense on the f3. For example, he's defending against the threats of rook f8 and pawn to d3, and then attack on the f file with this bishop and rook and queens. So this knight is one of the defenders of the castle. He is not a bad piece, but this bishop, I think, has to improve. So pawn takes and bishop takes c3 is possible, but c3 can be met with pawn d3 as well. But then d3 can be considered as white's target. Ifs and buts right now, and let's see what white played here. Black played here. So black played g5, continuing his plan of attacking white's castle with the and rook takes c6 was played, a sacrifice, an exchange sacrifice by white here. Pawn takes c6 and knight to e5. Now knight is threatening this d7 square, and we also have this queen to h6 check. If queen a6 check, king to b8, check, and I think white won here, but we have to go back and check what happened in the game. So rook takes c6 was played here, pawn takes and knight to e5. Pawn to d3 is necessary and one of the active defenses just to make sure that queen a6 is not possible, because queen a6, king b8, knight b6, knight c6 check, king to a8, and then there would be some kind of mating threats. For example, knight a5 can be played. Idea would be to just give a check and mate on this b7 square. So black has to be careful here, and to avoid all these tactics, black has played pawn to d3, and then white has given this queen g4 check. The other way, white is trying to find some attacks in the most efficient way. So queen to d7, a blunder here. This, guys, this is what black shouldn't have played. So queen f7 actually, knight e5, d3, and then this queen is under attack. This queen is also under attack. But I think this variation of queen a6 check should have been played here. So for example, this queen has to be saved now, and if to save this queen, if we play a move like queen is not playable, it's difficult choice for black right now how to continue, because there's no clearer way to defend this. Knight e5 is a very strong move. Okay, it's just putting pressure on every square that is present in the black's camp. So a good game, guys, coming to a nice end. So pawn to d3 was tried by white, but queen g4 check. And now after this check, there is no way that this queen can be defended. Only way to get something so material is to play queen d7, then knight d7 and rook d7, and then I think white is on the winning. So queen d7, knight d7, rook d7, pawn takes d3, and this is where the black resigned. A very nice game. Let's go back to the tournament, guys, and fun. Okay, let me just inform Gov that we have. Okay, let me join back. And MPHS, you are offline. I cannot see any games that you are playing currently. Okay, let's try again. MPHS. So even guys, you can request me to uh, get your game analyzed. Yeah, he has left, so we cannot analyze his game. And okay, so we had our uh, okay, I got a game here. So meanwhile the game is being played, let me explain you. India, Sri Lanka and Pakistan tournament today at 5:30 p.m. IST, and we have done the live recording and live broadcast as well, so you can check the videos on my channel. We have published those videos about a couple of hours back, so you can go back and check the video. So this is, it's a nice video again, because we have people from different countries playing against each other, and nice combinations happened over there with a very good feedback as well. People loved the video, so you can go back and check the video. So on g4, bishop is on d3. Let me just put the pawn to e6, make sure that this bishop is active now. So rook will come to c to attack here. Let me just capture the pawn once. I can even get rid of this bishop. No, not right now. Let's play knight to e4. If knight to d2, then I can capture the c3 pawn. Okay, so pawn to h2 trying to drive a pawn to g4. I'll be happy. And now bishop to g6. Now look at the structure. I think I can go for long castle and try to play this h4. Try to attack as much as possible over here. So let me first play. Should I play f5? Let's play h5. Okay, let's check what's white's reaction. What is white going to do after h5? So okay, knight to e5 was played, and I think now I need to capture back, because I don't want this pawn to come on g6 and then this bishop capture my beautiful pawn, weak pawn over here. Let me just capture this first. Pawn takes. I think bishop d6 has to be played very soon now. Pawn takes. Okay, so capture back with the bishop first. And now if pawn takes, I have this rook h8. Oh, pawn takes, rook takes bishop, a sack by white. He doesn't want to risk his king out here. Okay, now I can play this nice move, rook to h6. Idea is rook g6 and pin this queen over here. So I think this there is a lack of development from white side, but even there is a lack of development from my side, and I think this is a win for me, an easy win for me, guys. So lack of development, but I have made sure that whatever development I have done effective, so that I get good attack in the center. Let's try to put the rook in the open file now, and I think I be winning easily this one. I'm not sure I should continue this game, but Yeah, I had to win quickly so that some points are added in my team's kitty. I think rook e1 is expected now. To attack in this e5, I can put my king on f7. Knight d6 check is available. D6 will guard it. c3 I can capture. I think. Let me first play pawn takes and capture with the queen. If white plays pawn takes, my queen will capture the pawn back. And I think black should have resigned. White here is playing for the hope against the hope. c4 was played. So white is not in mood to give up. We have to prove that we can win easily here. Rook has to come to d8 now. Support the d pawn as well as this d6 square. Knight d6 check is something that I should be concerned about. I should not take this lightly. And now d3, d2 I think can be pushed quickly, and then queen can come and sit on e3 square and then give queen e2 check. So pawn push, let me push and play queen e3 next move, and then queen e2 check is what I can threaten. So knight g5 check is possible. So let me first. So knight g5 check, I think I can cover with the queen e3 move. So knight g5 check, I can just capture with the queen. And if knight c5 is not possible, knight d6, I can just capture with the bishop. So queen e2 is something that white should be concerned now, and then queen takes rook can be played. Even the a2 pawn is hanging here. Okay, so pawn takes pawn. White is willing to give away the rook. Why is white willing to give away the rook? Let's give this check and capture the rook. Oh, it's being signed knight. That's why white was comfortable. I think bishop f2 is on the cards. Idea is bishop takes f2 and then queen takes d1. So pawn push. Let's get another queen. Okay, going well right now. Let's just go back and still 26 minutes remaining for the tournament tour. Okay, so white has queen. I just want to get rid of this game quickly. Come on, white. Quickly make your moves. We have to jump on to the next game. Thank you very much. Let me just pause and just go and check the next game now. So let's check game between we have okay, we have Sony Atharva and Dano playing each other. Sony Atharva is playing from Chess Blasters. So players are switching the teams according to their will right now. D4, knight f6, e3, g6, bishop d3, bishop g7, knight d2, castles, pawn to f4, pawn to d5, knight to c5, pawn to c3. So this is a Cole system structure actually that I had seen long back. This pawn structure with this knight d2 bishop here. This bishop suffers for most part of the game, but later on it's expected to grow its career into something at graduation by playing b3 and bishop b2 or bishop a6 or even sometimes bishop d2, bishop to e1 and bishop h4. So knight castles, pawn takes, and bishop to g4, queen to e1. This is the normal strategy, just to take to queen to e1 and then shift it to h4. Can say maneuver it to h4 in the chess language. Pawn to e6, knight to e5, knight takes, pawn takes, and knight to d7. Pawn to h3, bishop e2. So bishop e2 is again interesting move now because g4 is threatened and knight bishop d, a bishop forced, and knight can capture this bishop back on e4, and then there will be a c2, bishop d1, e6 is a backward pawn now in the position. In the long run, actually e6 will be a target for white. Takes, queen takes, and knight to e4, king to g2, rook takes, knight takes, rook to f8, to b3, an offer of exchange. But what about this entry of rook to the f2 square? Yes, that's something that white should be worried about. I think here actually queen takes queen and then rook f2 check has to be played. Queen takes queen, a takes b3, rook check, king moves to g1 and then probably play a6 so that this b2 pawn is always hanging with this rook. Okay, so king to g1 was played. Rook queen d8, bishop to e3, queen to h4, and now bishop takes f2, queen. I think this should be game should be soon over, or yep, both players are trying for win here. It's not easy. Just check if there is any combination here, guys. Okay, so this was the position: king to g2, knight to d3, king to h1, queen to f3, king to g1, queen check, and I think black resigned here. Sorry, white resigned here. Okay, just so a nice combination here. So king to g2. I think king g2 here is kind of compulsory because of knight h3 check, king h2 again knight f2 check is possible. So knight d3 check now. King to h1 and queen f3, king g1 and queen f2, king h1 and knight f4. So look at this knight maneuver, guys. It's a beautiful maneuver wherein this knight went to this beautiful d3 square f2, it went to d3, from d3 it went to f4, and this queen via triangulation it came to this f2 square, and now this g2 is unstoppable. That's what a knight and queen does when your king is exposed. So this g4 move was interesting, but I had guessed that this king would be exposed. So good tournament, good game right now. So let's go back and check the next game. Still 21 minutes remaining almost. Let's try to join and try to game here. All the viewers out there, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe the channel, and share with your friends possible. If you want me to analyze your game, just mention in the comment section. I will analyze your game. Just give me your leeches ID. From the individual point of view, guys, let us see who is leading. Bombay Rocker is leading from, okay, I got a game with Supriya. Okay, so let me play in the Berserk mode. Let's try to quickly finish this game. I was hoping to get a high rated player, but it's okay. I should not judge any player by the rating. Everyone has its own tricks and traps that one can use. So this is called as a once when you play pawn to d4, and if e takes d4 you can play pawn to c3 and try to attack the center as much as possible. So I think knight takes knight will be played, queen takes knight is expected, knight g5 interesting. Let's put this bishop on the g5 square now, and we do capture this pawn, king takes, and then knight check, and if king moves then I can capture the knight. So let's capture the f7 pawn now, and king takes f7, knight g5 check, king moves, and queen takes g4. Pawn will be pushed to d5 to attack my queen, but I can bring my queen back to f3 then probably. Now pawn d5 is expected, yeah. So queen can now come to queen h5 check. I think g6 is there. Let's put the queen back to f3 now. Try to threaten a mate on f7. I quickly have to castle and put my f1 rook on e1 to get this attack on the e1 square. So let's castle. Okay, so this is the way you have to attack as much as possible. And I knight takes e4 is possible, but let's try to play rook e1 first. Bishop g4 is something I think will be annoying for me. Bishop g4 are trying to attack my. And now let's play first this move so that we don't allow black to castle there. If black castles, it would be happiest position for him right now for tonight. Okay, let's not allow black to castle first. Let's put the queen on b3, put the break black's castle, and then again try to hit this mate on f7. Pawn to e3. This is what happens, guys. Sometimes the players just miss. It's a check and mate. Let's pause and go back to the tournament. Let's check the next game now. Let's check the top board game right now. Okay, a lot of as we have seen. Let's check the game between Andre and Super Bohemo. Both are very good players, guys. Let's check what happened in the opening. D4, E5. This is a England pawn to C3, pawn takes D4, C takes D4, pawn to D5. And I think this is soon going to turn into a Carlsbad pawn structure. Knight to C3, knight F6, bishop F4, pawn to C3. Yes, this is the Carlsbad pawn structure, guys. This pawn chain versus this pawn chain, and black has these three pawns versus white's these two pawns. This is called as the Carlsbad pawn structure. You can Google out Carlsbad, Carlsbad pawn structure. Now the idea over is if you lined up in this position sometime in your life, so you have to remember this idea. If you're playing from white side, you have to try and attack the queen side as much as possible. Play a3, b4, and try to exchange here on the c6 square. Once this b pawn comes on c6, this is going to be a backward weak pawn. Then you have to put your rook on c1, knight on a4, not allow this pawn to push. Then this knight can come to e5, attack this c6 square, and continue the attack on this c6 square as much as possible. Now, if you are in a black position from black's point of view here, what you should do, you have to attack on the king side as much as possible. Your knight on e4, your knight should come to d7, other knight should come to f6, you have to castle here, bishop should be on d6, and then rook will come to f6 and then to h6, trying to mate on h2 here. That's it, that's what you have to do from black side. So from both the player's point of view, you should of what plans you can execute so that you put your pieces in the perfect position. Once you know the plan, you always develop your pieces in the perfect position. So try to learn as many plans as possible. So it deserves one like over this on this video, on this explanation, guys. Do it and don't forget to hit the like button. Let's continue. Bishop d6 was played. Bishop to g3, castles. Bishop to d3, knight to e5, knight to e4, castles. Bishop to e6, knight to e5. Knight to a6 is not the best move. You are trying to give away all the pawns. Bishop takes a6, knight to c6, queen to c7, bishop takes d6, queen takes d6, knight to e5. Black and white is happy. White has nothing to lose there. He extra pawn on c6. Black also has double pawns here. So pawn to f4 was played, but white is not going for the exchanges. Knight to g3, pawn to g3, and now knight to c7. Now this knight is trying to be smart, trying to come back into the game from probably this way. It would have been easier for him to come in, but he chose to prefer this way, so that's okay. And even knight b5 can be played, but I think that's not worth right now to consider. Even this bishop can go back, knight can come on e6, but from e6 it has no scope. So it's probably better to put knight on e8 to f6 and to g4 or to e4. Okay, so let's see. Going to f2, going to f6, rook to h1. White is trying to create some attack in the h5, but I think this attack is going to fail. A5, pawn to a4, knight to a6 back again. So knight just loves this a6 square. This knight is someone who likes to be, it's an introvert knight. He doesn't want to come out. He's just happy with himself, just playing himself to a6 out there. So after is knight a6 is g4, knight to b4, and pawn takes. I think knight takes d3 check is available. Queen takes d3. Okay, knight takes d3, knight takes d3. So this is not a bad move because this knight who was there on this queen side was not doing anything actually. So it's better to exchange these pieces so as the f top, this bishop is now free to go on the hy square if allowed. So queen f7, rook to h4, pawn to b6, and queen to f3. I think now white should change his concentration towards this open c file and try to attack here if possible. Probably rook c1, then knight e5, and this knight can just probably rook c2, and then the rook can come to c1. So yeah, rook a7 was played, rook pawn to g6, pawn to h6. That attack is going to fail on h7. It's not going to work, guys. So I'm not sure why white is putting all his efforts here. It's not going to work. I mentioned earlier also. So pawn to c5, pawn takes, and knight to g1, pawn to c4, knight to e5, bishop takes, pawn takes, and now rook to b7. There is a check, a beautiful check coming out here, guys. And after knight to e2, the rook can go back and defend h7 square. So king to f3 to avoid the check. Black still has one move, extra move, because this queen takes pawn h7. While black has one move to give a check and try to continue. So black plays it. Queen takes e5. He takes the gamble. Queen pawn to f4 and rook to g6 check. Pawn takes g6 is possible because queen h8. This is something that white missed because this queen is defending the h8 square. So even if rook g6, h6, there is no check and mate on this h1, h8 square. So here probably this knight f4 is not possible because bishop is trying to attack here, and hence it's a lost position for white. Look at this king, it's stuck in nowhere actually. It's not in the castle, it's not in the safe zone, it's nowhere. It's just stuck, and this f5 move, the killer move, it's just winning for black after that. So it all started with this rook b7 move. Rook b7 is where the counter attack started on the b2, and then there was nothing to be defended about. I think this f4 also is a black used at the right time. This one, yep. Do an excellent position here. If, of course, black allows. H3 and then g4. And we can do a long castle here, and now g4, g5 has to be played. G4 and try to attack that. Launch the attack. You're on bishop c4. Put the pressure on the f7. I think pawn e6 is now playable. Rook goes back. Rook is afraid of all the attacks that might be possible. Knight e2. Let's try to bring everyone in the game. Queen a5. Rook to g1. Now the idea is to play h4. I think b5 is expected. Okay, knight to d5. And I can capture this knight. This will be played. And I can bring my bishop now to the attacking diagonal here. This rook, queen to a2, and I think pawn c3 can come back to b3 now. No, to b1 now to defend this queen a1 check. So I need to get some sufficient time here. Happened. My browser has just freeze. Cancel. Okay. I think something happened over there. I'm not sure. Push. Let's try to attack as much as possible, guys. Come on. So I think pawn takes and then f takes will be played, and I have this beautiful move h3, but then pawn h5 is possible. And if pawn h5, okay, queen check, bishop comes back. Now queen has to go back somewhere, or he can play pawn to c5, bishop e6. Okay, let me play queen to h3. Now the idea is to play this pawn takes pawn and then capture this h7 pawn with a check and mate threat. That's the way you should attack, guys. Be attacking, use this gambits. This is something that no one teaches you, that you get something free over here in our channel Khelo Chess India for completely free without any charges, and this check is going to be a deadly one. So now I think rook takes can be played here. I think knight f4 and knight e6 will be a deadly move. So knight e4 now, knight f4 and knight e6 will be played very soon. I think b4 is also a nice move, but black is going to get mated very soon. That's what I feel with confidence. I hope I'm not overconfident here. And now rook f1. Now the idea is to play knight e6 and then queen f7 check and capture the knight for free. Is there a mate somewhere? Is there a mate somewhere? Yes, rook h8 is mate. Rook h8 is check and mate, guys. Yes. Knight f8 and rook takes f8. So very nice game, guys. Ideal game. Let's go back to a tournament and let's try to play another game. I'm just trying to enjoy this one now. You should also enjoy as much as possible when you play. I got another game versus King Ong. Let's try to play in the Berserk mode now. Trying to go Berserk, trying to play all the gambit. Let's try to play England gambit, all the Berserk mode and aggressive chess as much as possible. Try to learn something from this guys. Pawn to d6, bishop takes d6, and now knight. Bishop to g4, queen to e7, and I think I will be doing a long castle then. Pawn to f6, trying to kick that bishop away. And then queen e7, I think this knight d4 is expected, but knight d4 can be met with, okay, pawn e3. Let's go for this long castle. Let's try to play aggressive, guys, here. Let's try to play as aggressive. Just try to destroy everything that's possible on the board. I have still, okay, so if castles now will be a blunder because of a lot of things. So let's take the bishop back first. We do have this knight takes g4, h takes g4, bishop takes g4 move. Should we do it? Is the question. Let's try to put the bishop back on c2. Calm down a bit. Now if knight have this bishop takes e5, bishop takes e5, yeah. Knight d5 attacking my weakened queen. The poor queen on e7 is under attack. How can I defend it? Can I play queen to e6? I do have one thing up my sleeve. I can use bishop d4 check, bishop b4 check, c3, and I think I am not the best out here. I'm not doing the best. Queen c4. Ah, I'm not doing, yeah. Now the b5 bishop is hanging and the d5 knight is hanging. If pawn takes, I think I can capture this bishop. And knight takes e5 has been played. So let me just capture this knight now. First, attack the queen. And now let me capture the bishop. And now let me capture the knight. 3 seconds. Can I win this one? Oh, I don't think I can win this one now. After the queens are exchanged. Oh god. Okay, I think I'm lost. Okay, so lost this one. Level 2 tournament, a super aggressive game, but I think time is what is something that you don't have when you're playing in the Berserk mode. So last 3 minutes, guys, try to play one more game. I'm enjoying playing attacking chess today, guys. Let's try to play one more game. I might have missed some combinations in the last game, but that's okay as far as you enjoy the game and try to win from your team. Okay, I'm still around the fourth place from my team. And meanwhile, let's just check who all are winning from the individual point of view. We have D. Okay, I got a game against Advocate Rajiv. Advocate Rajiv is from Prayagraj. Future GM's Chess Club. I am playing from the Khelo Chess India. Let's try to play Sicilian Defense, one of my favorites. Also played a lot of E4 themes in the initial days of my career, and a lot of traps also I tried to learn in that period. So I should actually have played this one in the Berserk mode as well, because it's just 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. There is no point playing for the complete 6 minutes in this game. The Berserk mode is now gone actually in the Berserk mode. Okay, so pretty calm and composed and silent opening up till now. No fireworks, nothing, no sacrifices, no gambits. So a positional game going on right now. Something that I, but e6 is something I should be supporting with my bishop. This bishop, because if this bishop goes to b7, then d4 is possible. If c takes, knight takes, then there is a threat of this bishop takes e6 and f takes e6, knight takes e6, and knight threatens my queen as well as this rook. So white gets a lot of. So queen d2. What is the idea? There is no idea, I think. Behind queen d2, let me put the knight on d4. Let me try to get this file open for me. Okay, so now the d4 pawn is hanging. Let me support with the queen as well as on the g5 square. And now there is a nice threat of this knight takes e4. Okay, so bishop has been supported by the f4 pawn. Let me put the bishop on, oh, bishop on d7 now, because e6 has to be supported. I think f5 is going to be played. I'll be able to see it, trying to attack, trying to do a counter attack here on the uh, open file. Okay, bishop comes to. Actually, I think I might have missed a trick here. Knight e4, knight e4. Also draw. Bishop moves. Let's complete this game quickly, guys. Pawn at 6. It's okay even if I lose this. It's I just want to play this safe, just sacrificing over here without any reason. Bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, and queen takes, I think a5 will be played now. Last 14 seconds. I think I have this move up my sleeve, e5, and then bishop to g5 can be played. Trying to capture this rook on the c1 square. Oh, f6 is not playable. So I have to first put my king on the square, h8. I think b4 should be poor, and uh, there is no. Okay, there is a mating attack on this g7 square. I missed it, guys. And I think bishop takes f7 will be played now. So giving some chance to my opponent here. Let me just play pawn takes here, and then queen takes can be played. This rook is hanging, so I cannot just move this one. Okay, let's bring back the queen. Queen to g6. I'm not sure what are the threats here. Knight f6 will be played, and pawn takes f6. Queen takes h6 can be a check and mate. I think that's unstoppable right now. Yeah, that's unstoppable right now. So queen c7 can be tried, but queen c7, knight f6, bishop f5, ef5, and I think black is okay after that. So there is no way that I can support the meeting squares. Okay, let me just resign this game. So nice game, guys. Nice fight and a very good tournament coming a beautiful end. Let's check who are the winners for today. So Prayagraj Future GMs are today's winners with 117 points. Then we have Ano Chess Prodigy on 107 points. Then we have Khelo Chess India, my team, on 95. DS Scientist from my team is on 28. Scientist, D Scientist to lead from Khelo Chess India. Then we have Shri 12. Then we have Bombay Rocker today playing from Khelo Chess India. We have that is me, myself, and Swapnil Pote and Kuvam the Great. So congratulations all the players, top 6 from Khelo Chess India. Then we have Team Future on 4th position with 80 points, Chess Blasters on 79, Bobby Fischer 77, Gujarat Lions on 74, Golden Castle Chess Club on 24, Abhi Chess Club on 10, and Nagpur Chess Warriors on 0. From the individual point of view, it's going to be the scientist from Khelo Chess India again, Bad Boy from Bobby Fischer followers, and then Christian Galang 24 from Beat Mindano, and Ravi Chopra from Prayagraj, Shri from Khiluches India, Dimu that is Sri Lankan team. Then we have CM Garv, Prayagraj Future GMs Chess Club, at Vic, Prayagraj Future GMs Chess Club, and Bombay Rocker, as well as Moro, Chidayo, Chess from the Chess Blasters. So it's a beautiful tournament, guys. All the viewers out there, make sure you hit the like button before you go offline. Subscribe to the channel and share with your friends as much as possible. Tomorrow again, we are going to meet at 9:30 p.m. sharp. You can join our WhatsApp group by clicking the link given in the description box below. And there is one new video which is coming up for all of your viewers tomorrow troubleshoot the problems that we face while joining the Leeches tournament. So stay tuned for this video, and we also have India versus Pakistan and other teams coming up very soon as well. So bye bye and take care. Good night until we meet tomorrow at same time at 9:30 p.m. IST to analyze your games, to explain the openings and to explain the tactics. That's all from my side. This is Amir Sawan signing off from Khelo Chess India. Good night. Okay, so thank you all the viewers out there. I can just see some comments before signing off. Sorry for that. So have Chess Trick an opening. Hello, sir. Chess Trick says, Sir, Bad Boy 6 का game दिखाई. Yes, tomorrow we will try to cover your game, Bad Boy 6. Today, I'm sorry, I could not cover it. Time is up for today. And then we have Dead Shot. Bad Boy 6 Deadshot, I'm really sorry. We are out of time. Tomorrow I'll definitely 100% take Bad Boy 6 game first. Then we have Omkar Chakradev saying good coverage. Thank you, Omkar Chakradev. You are playing great chess. I saw your games in last tournaments. I'm not sure which one, but it was a very nice tournament for you. And then we have Deadshot again saying, Sir, okay, Master Chess Tamil says chess, which is the best chess website for the analysis? Site is the best website for the analysis. Mr. Master Chess Tamil, you can check my videos. In my video, I have explained how you can your game analyzed for completely free from Leech's website. It's just few clicks. You can get the best analysis from Stockfish 11 from the Leech's website. It's very easy, it's completely free, no need to purchase any softwares or to pay anyone to get your. So do check the videos. The video is about you can check the description in the how to analyze your game for free. That is one of the descriptions channel. You will get them completely free. So thank you all. If you have any more questions, you can directly message below in the comments video once the live coverage is over. I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. That keeps me motivated. And that's all from guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye and good night once again.